You know, I'm kind of angry at myself for not having made this video first, but I'm glad I'm making it today. We're so disconnected, we're so numb. And not just by choice, but by nature. We have a lot of mechanisms within our body and our brain that protects us from feeling and experiencing anything that could do too much damage. Anything that could uproot too much stability, too much of our foundation. And how do you get through that? How do you talk to people in a way that's polite and respectful, or takes their feelings into consideration, but still make a point? And still say the truth, completely unaltered, the complete truth, without it being toned down or made for an approved audience. You know, if I have to give you a warning about something before I talk about it, that's already a huge red flag that whatever I'm about to talk about, there's one side that you should be on, and that's the only side you should be on. I guess the next thing I should say is it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to acknowledge that where you're standing right now, that the meal you're eating maybe right now while you're watching this is wrong. And what I'm here to actively go up against is apathy. This world does not have time for apathetic people. This world needs everyone to have an opinion. And it's even better if that opinion is well informed, even if that information is going to make you feel a little uncomfortable. I'm specifically talking about veganism and about the absolutely unnecessary treatment and killing, enslavement of innocent beings that we share this planet with. Each and every living being on this earth has equal claim to live their life as you and me, as your mother, as your father, your siblings, your friends. We're all equal because we're all alive. The whole world could be vegan if we chose to be. It's a choice. It's a simple choice. You wake up in the morning and instead of pouring cow's milk on your cereal, you pour milk from a nut, or milk from rice, or milk from oats. You pour milk from something that didn't have a face, that didn't have a child. Did you ever think about that? That was something, even as a vegetarian, you know, I didn't see the problem with cheese. I didn't see the problem with milk. That parent, that mother, to produce milk had to have a baby, had to carry a baby. And the worst part is, it wasn't even put there by another cow. Like, at one point, I was drinking the breast milk, the milk from an udder that was mechanically pumped out from a cow who had a baby that was taken away from her, that was put there through, I'm sorry, what's it called? Mechanical impregnation or false insemination, something like that. Essentially, it's rape. It's a human sticking their arm inside this cow's anus to get into her vagina and inject her with semen that was mechanically ejaculated from a bull. Like, the gravity of that situation, if you let every single word I just said completely sink in, take all the filters away. Get connected to this situation, because 9 chances out of 10, you're probably contributing to it. You're paying for it to happen. As a vegetarian, I had seen the footage. It's bad. No one wants to admit that, though. No one wants to say that they see it and they feel bad. But we're taught how to react to it. We're expected to need to turn away, to not want to watch it. And I'm sure in some cases it's true that there's people out there who just genuinely turn away because it's so hard to watch, but they still eat meat. So something tells me they didn't get it. It's not hard for them to watch. That's their brain protecting themselves from having to make such a large change in your life, because it is a big one. And it's a powerful one. You have to sit down when you're going to watch videos of the truth of our reality. You need to sit down and prepare yourself and take those blinders off. You got to sit there and be willing to feel every single second. You need to be invested in watching this as if it were you, as if it was your child. See it as though they are simply exactly what they are, a living, sentient being, someone who can perceive their reality, feel pain and pleasure, and can remember things, can conceptualize what is going on in their reality right then. Just like you and me. They might not save money, they might not buy houses, but they have children. And they're supposed to have families. These animals that we've taught children to think of as food. You see a happy cow smiling on the milk carton. Where does that cow exist in the dairy industry? What mother have you ever seen smile when their child is taken away from them? Perfect timing for this video, really, because children being taken away from their parents is just a hot topic here in the United States. The media is more than happy to talk about that, but the minute we start to disrupt money, the minute we start to threaten people who have power in this world, that message is shut down. And we're taught not to feel that, not to connect with it. It happens, but it's okay. That's what you've been taught. That's what I was taught. Unknowingly. My mother would never, ever hurt an animal. She didn't know. The doctors didn't tell her. The government didn't tell her. The industry themselves sure didn't mention it. Sit down right wherever you're at. If you're driving, maybe pull over. Wherever you're going is less important than what you're about to see and feel. Forget about politics. Forget about whatever is on your agenda for the rest of the day. Forget about your plans for the future. Forget about the past. And just put your being in this other being's position. Don't turn away. Don't close your eyes. Even if you don't eat meat that much, or even if you eat healthy and you eat grass-fed, boy, isn't that a joke. Watch it. Watch it in its entirety. And I'm serious, you have to let yourself feel it. You have to completely open yourself up and tell your brain, you want to see this. I need to see this. Let me feel it. Give yourself permission to feel it. When you see the pig backing away in fear from the man, walking towards her with a bolt gun, feel that fear. See it for what it is. Stop telling yourself that it's okay, because it's not. The effort, the minuscule amount of effort it takes for us to get through our lives without choosing the convenience of that cow who had been processed into a burger, that mother cow who's now the quarter-pound burger at McDonald's for $1.50. The effort it takes to say no to that is minuscule in comparison to the effort that it takes for each and every one of these animals to endure its reality that we pay for. We are practically begging this agricultural industry to take our money and to breed these animals into the world so that they can be food, so that they can nurture our bodies. And it's unacceptable. It's so easy to be vegan. Being vegan is equivalent with simply being human. If you can think and you choose what you buy, or you have influence over who does choose what you buy and what you eat, it is your absolute responsibility to say something and to say no to every piece of flesh and every excretion that we eat from animals. It is your responsibility to go on the company's website and make sure they're not strapping rabbits down to a table and dripping chemicals into their eyes to test out your new volumizing shampoo. What matters is what actions you take in your life. Just pick something else to eat. Eat the grain, and eat the vegetables, and eat the fruit. Eat the things that this earth so happily provides. And don't force yourself to endure this anymore. Think about it. Whether these animals came from an independent farm or not, they experienced a violent death. No matter what country you're in. If they're lucky, it was a bolt gun to the head and a knife across the throat. If they're really lucky, the bolt gun did its purpose and knocked them out unconscious. But they don't always get that lucky to be shot in the head with this bolt gun first and then have a knife drawn across their throats before they're continuously processed down to bones and flesh, and their guts are dumped into a trash can. It's your responsibility to know what you're consuming. And after this video, if you've watched this video, if you've watched any video really about the truth, it's your responsibility to act on it. Apathy is this species, the human species. It is our worst enemy. I think apathy is our coping mechanism. It's kind of like alcohol or nicotine, painkillers, but for the mind, kind of like cognitive dissonance. Apathy is you taking that choice of, I'm not going to feel this. I'm not going to let that sink in. No. Stop eating a burger. The burgers taste so good. Get out of here. You really think that's an argument? You really think that's a justifiable reason to let these innocent animals suffer and die for your taste? Being vegan could fix so many problems. And I'm not going to go into the facts here because this video has been long enough. But after you're done with this video, I'll have several videos linked in the description box down below, and I encourage you to just go from video to video to video to video. Let yourself get into this immersed state into finding out the truth. And the good news is the facts behind the environmental impacts of veganism and the health impacts of veganism are all extremely, extremely positive. Watching the videos in the description box below, and then making better decisions from there. Being vegan is easy. It's so easy. In the long run, all you're doing is instead of picking up this jug of milk, you're picking up the nut milk, or the oat milk, or the rice milk, or the coconut milk, the hemp milk, the cashew milk, the almond milk. Like, there's so many different milks out there that don't come from cows. Like, just leave the animals alone, man. Like, it's that simple. And then the more of us that exist out there, the less of all of that pain, suffering, violence, torture, suppression, speciesism at its finest will exist. The world will be a happier, healthier place if we just stop creating so much violence and so much evil. And this is a perfect opportunity for every single one of us to have a direct and huge, everlasting impact on our world. And like I said, I am here to be as real and raw with you as I possibly can be, because it's what is needed, I feel, from me. I feel that is the best thing I can provide. Yep, here's to a vegan world.